everyone, this is Janine and welcome to my YouTube video with my October makes and my November plans. It is election day and I did vote. I can't tell you how much I am looking forward to the end of political ads. I haven't watched anything but Netflix and sports for weeks and weeks. Anyway, I am going to take this off now. Made my point. But today I'm wearing a top that I made, 2 years ago. This is Vogue 9204 and the fabric used was a cotton stretch that I picked up at Elliott Berman. I am also wearing a skirt that I made last month, which is the McCalls 7331. It's the Nancy Zeman pattern, and the skirt is Ponte, super comfy. Really pleased that the weather is finally cool enough that I can wear long sleeve tops, skirts, and tights. So what did I make in October? Not a heck of a lot. The first thing I'm going to show you is this top right here that I have on my dress form back there. That is Kwik Sew 3658, which is a high collar drape V-neck top. Really a quick sew. It goes together very nice. Kwik Sew. It's a Kwik Sew pattern. Didn't even think of that before. Makes up a nice top that is very similar to something you'd find in ready to wear. And I've made it before several years ago and finally dug it out again. The only alteration I made is lengthening it by 2 inches. Next time I make it a little bit longer, and I think that I will make a smaller size and do an FBA. The other thing I made this month is another version of the Blackwood cardigan, this time in a sweater knit that's a little bit heavier than the one I made last month. It's this pink heathered sweater knit. Went together really quickly again, and I love this pattern. Highly recommend it if you haven't yet made a Blackwood cardigan. I only made a couple of other things this month. The first was I made 10 kennel quilts. Kennel quilts are just little pads that are filled with batting, and they're kind of quilted, and I send them to humane societies and shelters that are taking care of small animals generally after natural disasters. There's an organization that publicizes groups that need kennel quilts, and I'm going to put that information down here. But for me, this is a fun project because I can use up great pieces of cotton that I find either on clearance or if I have scraps. And it's been a good way for me to test out different stitches on my sewing machine. It's also a nice project when you're feeling kind of brain dead and you just want to sew something. So I made 10 of these. I only had one other project this month. My chapter of the American Sewing Guild every year has a President's Challenge during the annual meeting. And this year the challenge was to make something of real or faux leather, suede, or fur. My inspiration for this project is right here. In the summer, I was in a department store and I saw this really cute Kate Spade wallet. $118. I know it's cute, but it's really a novelty item. So I decided I can make this. Isn't that what we all say all the time? So I started out with the Swoon Patterns Heidi bag. I made this of faux suede that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. So this is the basic pattern. It's got magnetic clip. There's a big zip pocket that goes all the way down. A very nice wrist strap that's very well constructed. The instructions are very good. And then here is my attempt at the Kate Spade bag. It's not perfect. It's not straight. It's not symmetrical. But you know what? It was fun to make. And I'm going to use this at least for a few weeks. As I said, it's a novelty item. For the embellishment, I used scrap leather that I bought in pieces at both McCalls and Hobby Lobby. The fur is faux fur from Hobby Lobby. And this was the first time I'd sewn with leather, so it was very interesting learning how to place things and stitch them. I used a leather needle and my Teflon foot. This little guy took me about 6 evenings and almost a whole weekend. So this sucked up all of my October sewing time. But that's what I got done in October. So what did I buy in October? Actually, I didn't buy a lot of fabric. I picked up 2 pieces at Fabric Mart, both of which I'd picked out in Julie's Swatch Club last month and said those were the only pieces I wanted. The first one is this stretch denim. It's very soft. It's got a lot of stretch in it. I picked up 2.5 yards of this, but I'm not planning to use this until the winter or maybe early spring. So I'm just going to set this aside. The only other piece I picked up is a St. John knit. This was $8.99 a yard. It's very nice. St. John knits are extremely expensive and ready to wear. So this is my way of getting a $700 St. John knit sweater for, let's see, it was $8.99 a yard. I need 1.5 yards for a Blackwood cardigan. What's that? $15.50? No. Anyways, it's cheap. So that's all I bought from Fabric Mart this month. As I mentioned last month, I was planning to take a trip and visit a friend, and I did. I went over to London a couple of weeks ago and stayed with my friend and her family, and they live 2 blocks from a street that has 2 fabric stores on it. One is RayStitch and the other one is Sew Over It, and I shopped at both. At RayStitch, I picked up a bamboo knit. It's hard to tell the color, but it's sort of a dark teal. This is relatively lightweight. Viv Mom, it's 195 grams per meter. So I'm not quite sure what I'll make with this. Certainly something drapey, probably something with a double front. I also picked up a swatch package for their bamboo knits because they always have them in stock. And I think I may want more, and since my friend lives right around the corner, I'll just send her over there to pick up some more for me. Also at RayStitch, I'm not going to show you, I picked up 2 pieces of knit ribbing for cuffs and for bands on bomber jackets, things like that. It's very difficult to find that fabric in the States, and they had several different colors. So I thought, well, I'll buy a couple of pieces, and then if I need it, I know what the quality is and I can order more. Chances are good those will wind up in maybe a sweatshirt for Christmas. Then we wandered down the street and went to Sew Over It, where I've bought a lot of fabric in the past. They were having their clearance sale and they had a lot of very nice fall and winter fabrics, but most of them are just too heavy for the climate that I live in, so I didn't buy as much fabric as I had thought that I would. But that's okay, because there are always opportunities to buy fabric. The first thing I picked up there is this Georgette, which is sort of a soft red. It's not a coral, it's not a pink. And I'm thinking this would be a nice pussy bow blouse in the spring. Then I got one other piece, which is this cotton jersey. Pink with what looks like the kind of birds we used to draw when we were kids. This is really quite beefy. So I will be using this to make a top that I'll wear in the winter. You know, I could probably make this again. But I got a couple of meters of this, and I think this is certainly a winter make. I only bought 2 other things related to sewing on that trip. I didn't buy any clothes because I'm still on the ready to wear fast, although I was tempted, but I didn't even try on any clothes. When I was at the airport and had a long wait, I picked up a couple of magazines at W.H. Smith. First one is Berta Style, the November edition. I used to subscribe to Berta Style when you could get it in the States, but you can't anymore. I don't know if there's anything here I'm going to make, but I've got it if I get inspired by something. Honestly, I don't like tracing patterns. So it would have to be something really super before I'd consider making it. The other magazine I picked up is Sew magazine, the Christmas edition. Sew magazine is one of the ones that you'll often find in Joann or Barnes & Noble, and it's in the plastic bag. It was £8, so that's, what, about 10 bucks. In the plastic bag, there were 2 patterns. So that makes it a great buy. The first pattern is this New Look dress. The number on this is New Look 6524, but I don't know if that's the number that they catalog this under in the stores. But it's a cute little dress. I don't know if I'll ever make it, but maybe. I'd certainly make it longer. The other pattern that was included is quite intriguing to me, and that is Simplicity 8302. I like this woven top, I like the jacket, and I like the trousers. So that's kind of a bonus because I like so many objects in there. And this magazine also has several sew-alongs, some crafts that are interesting. But really, I just buy these magazines so I have something to read on the plane home. If there's a project I like, that's a great bonus. What am I planning to make in November? Well, the first thing on my list was a knit top, and it's done. Second thing on my list is gifts to send home to Canada. Because I have to ship my presents home, they have to be done pretty early. This year, I was planning to make some bags for my sisters. Then I saw this pattern, and it's tempting to make them some PJs from Kwik Sew 4250. This pattern calls for wovens, but I'm thinking something like this. The stretch cotton might be fun. The other thing I have to make is something for my mum, and she hinted the other day that she'd like a Blackwood cardigan. So she and I are on a hunt for the right fabric. We have company coming for Thanksgiving this year. I have fabric to make a table runner and napkins. Then I picked up this pattern at my ASG Chapters fabric sale, and I thought this was kind of cute. If I have time, I would love to make coasters, acorn coasters. So that's another project that I need to get out of the way. And the final thing for me to work on this month, I've committed to myself to make 12 grab-and-go gifts for people at work. This year, my grab-and-go gifts are going to be sleep masks, little bags, much like this little one that I made from a kit, possibly some hand towels. I'm learning how to use my embroidery machine and have a ton of designs, so maybe I'll try that for a few people. That's what's on the official list for November, but of course I've added a couple of other things. Not that I have any extra time to sew this month. The first thing on my list is another edition of the Zoe dress, this time in a pink double crepe that I picked up about 1.5 years ago. I will make that short-sleeved so it can transition into spring and summer. The Zoe dress went together so well. However, I'm thinking that I'm going to make it smaller next time. It fits nicely. It's got an awful lot of ease. The only other thing specifically on the list is this. 4 meters of pink wool blend that I bought about 1 year ago. And for that, I'm going to make this Kwik Sew parka. Kwik Sew 4254. So why did I pick this? I've got the fabric number 1. I need a better quality dressy winter coat. I know plaid isn't particularly dressy, but it's a nicer quality coat. This is unlined, which makes it quite appealing for the climate I live in. So I will make this unlined and then do Hong Kong finish on the seams inside. Just have to find some cute fabric for the bindings. The other thing that is appealing about this for the plaid is it has straight lines. So it shouldn't be super difficult to match the plaid. I'm excited to try it and pull out pencil crayons and try to match up the design. If there's enough fabric left, I'm going to make a straight skirt. That's what's in the hopper. A couple of times I've mentioned that I'm trying to improve my wardrobe and have it better represent me. Of course, that means that you have to spend some time thinking about what you want to look like. And sometimes you see a garment and you say, I want to look like that. And that's what happened when I was in RayStitch and I saw this jacket on the dress form. The pattern for the jacket is the Merchant and Mills strand. And if you look at the pattern picture, you would never guess this is the same jacket. The Merchant and Mills picture, which I'm going to show here, is a very unstructured, relaxed jacket, where this was constructed of drapery fabric and it's lined. And it's a much more formal jacket. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Anyway, I love this. I want to make this. But then I stopped and thought about what is appealing to me. The fabric is interesting. It's simple. It's elegant. It's chic. Using the drapery fabric just takes it to a different level. So it's not like something that you'd find in every store in TJ Maxx. So this is kind of one of my inspiration pieces for the next couple of months. I'm going to look for the right fabric. It'll probably be something that's woven, something that is a little bit crisp, and I can wear it in the spring. Another thing that I find interesting about all of this is last month, someone posted a link on Pattern Review to a vlogger whose name I'm going to list here, who is a French stylist. And she talked about things that you need if you want to have a French woman's wardrobe. I'm going to just quickly run through this. She said a white crisp shirt, an elegant blazer, a good pair of flats, a little black dress, a black basic tee or tunic, a white basic tee or tunic, a turtleneck sweater, a pair of dark blue jeans, a huge scarf, a purse for everything, and black pointy heels. But what's similar about these is that they are simple garments that don't draw attention to the wardrobe. They draw attention to the person. So that's one of the things that I'm thinking about as I select fabric. Now, of course, you just saw that I'm going to be making a big, bright pink tartan parka. So clearly I'm not all the way there yet, but I think you also have to have some fun in your wardrobe. And there are times when you've just got to sew up what you've got. So that's my October makes, my November plans, and my current thoughts on how I'm going to wow the world with the way that I dress. Thank you for watching. Thank you to those who have subscribed. Please comment. I love to hear from you. Happy November. I'll see you all soon.